clear who the blood belongs to, but the footage emerged just hours after an unverified ransom note was sent to TMZ demands millions of dollars in Bitcoin. Nancy has not been seen since Saturday. I'm going to put up here a couple of Brian Enton's news reports. Boots on the ground.
What up? What up?
And show you some of this stuff here from his Twitter account. He's been tweeting about this situation. Let's take rid of the blood. Let's put this up. Let's remove the banner. Again, he just tweeted out sheriff helicopter circling low right now. Okay, so that has since went away. The chopper's gone. The chopper is gone. So that's 3 media outlets confirming it's a sheriff's chopper. This is what he says here. He says, you can see here the ring camera is missing from Nancy Guthrie's front door. So there's the blood. And then there's the blood. Blood. Boom. Supposed to be a ring camera here. No ring camera. Only 3 conclusions. One, there never was a ring camera there. They took it down before this incident even happened. Now, some people have mounts for ring cameras and they don't have stuff on there. Some people have ring cameras that don't even work. They just have it for show to make the intruder think you're being taped. Because they don't want to pay their bill or whatever.
That would be me.
Re-up their bill, or they just don't want to pay for it anymore or whatever. So people have fake cameras. Could be a situation here where authorities took the ring camera because there was evidence on there after the fact. Took the ring camera. They're analyzing this. They said this a couple of days ago at the press conference. They are reviewing footage. Sheriff also said there's no security camera or no alarms at the house. No alarms at the house. There is security cameras. No alarms. Or could the suspect themselves, suspect or suspects, take it? And if they took it, did they know there was ring cameras there? I mean, you would think, though, a criminal that does a crime knows there's a very... See, you think about this, though, because if someone would just go into some rando's house, you're risking yourself being caught on camera. Unless you know there is no cameras, because the person will, or you disable them. That's why I feel like, to me, this is indicating like an inside job. Because why would a stranger go to someone's home and take someone out of the home, risking themselves being seen on camera? Makes no sense. But the person that knows the person best knows if the cameras are legit or not, or knows how to remove the cameras. Why hasn't the daughter spoken yet? That's a great question. And we're talking about Savannah spoke. She's saying, Savannah's saying prayer and whatnot. Seems like a lot of people, but why hasn't she spoken? Last person that was with Nancy. Were there cameras in the home? It's a great question, Susie. I don't know that answer. Can anyone answer that question what Susie presents? Were there cameras in the home? Or are they outside them? Some people got the rings outside. I think rings, you could buy like a box of rings, certain amount, 5, 10 devices, or a certain amount. You mount them up. A lot of people mount up rings outside. Some people have rings inside their home, though. A lot of people have them outside of home. Different strategic locations, any movement, they get the alert. Look. Some people have to fix it because they get the alerts whenever there's anything moving from a cat to an animal or whatever. I don't think there's indoor cameras. I wouldn't think there's indoor cameras. Outdoor. But the perpetrator here could probably be like dragging her out and then realize, oh crap, oh, there's a camera. Grab the camera and rip it off. Oh, the perpetrator. Oh my, there's a camera. But who would risk that without even knowing?
What up? What up,
Scope
Sasha?
the house out. Or
Yo, 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 yo.
Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Forced entry. I believe they said there was forced entry. If anyone can elaborate on that, because I'm hearing a lot of mixed things when it comes to this. So he also put this out. Blood is visible outside the front door. Blood is visible. Oh, this is the one where it just spins, I believe. Yeah, it just spins. Some people's tweets sometimes don't come out right.
Yes, I
think
was
the reception out there is
falsely accused.
Let's go back to Brian.
Because YouTube doesn't really do 24-hour bans. It's their way of kind of saying, hey, we fucked up, our bad.
Nope.
But the bummer is
so we're gonna go back to Ransom.
that particular video had like 30,000 views.
I don't know, folks. So, if it was sent by an email to the media company, the local media company, I'm sure authorities could track that down via the IP. Or wait, the media company got the note, TMZ got the, they're referring the note as an email, but the media company got the note. TMZ got the email. Let's go with TMZ. They say they forwarded it over to authorities. Can you track it down via, IP? Or did they use an IP spoofer? Why take the ring camera when it does full footage? Well, does the killer know it does full footage? What is the killer? Or I'm saying killer. The perpetrator. Can't say killer, I apologize. But it actually, I believe at this point she could be alive. If they're doing ransom notes today and last night, there's a very good chance she's still alive. But the problem is she has health issues, so she might not be alive long if she doesn't get her proper medications and whatnot. Eric says, I miss you being at location. I actually looked. And actually, I'm considering, I'm considering popping on a plane and jumping up to Tucson. It's nice, mid-70s right now. See what's going on in Tucson. Because they're going to be giving a press conference at least on Thursday.
Whoa.
But what would we really be able to do?
Permaseal finishing. We are just, we're doing updates on the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping, and, we can talk a little Epstein. So Permaseal finishing, $1.99. What we watching, boss? Obviously Permaseal, I'm a stand-up comic. My goal is to have you guys watch my comedy videos. But, I'm trying to get numbers in here to get people to watch my videos. Stand-up videos. So, I'm doing anything I can to, just get eyeballs on the channel, and then, oh, this guy's a comic. Seems to be working a little bit. Definitely having that video taken down by YouTube hurt, because I was well on my way to, I would guess, 40 to 50,000 views. Which is a lot for my channel. But, what can I do? Thank you very much, Permaseal. Yes, the leather pants heckle video is up. Check it out if you have not done so already. I do appreciate you guys, watching all the things you watch. What up, Hi-Fi Protege? Just an update on the Nancy Guthrie situation. There apparently is a ransom note, and they're asking for Bitcoin, which is kind of smart with the, thieves. You can transfer Bitcoin to anonymous accounts, and you'll never find the people. I mean, you can't really track Bitcoin. Like with money, you can, but Permaseal finishing $12.73, $1.99. Can we disparage in Gino Biscuit some he's deserving? I mean, listen, I don't control what you guys want to talk about, baby. You don't like Gino Bisconti? Come on in, talk about it. I mean, I'm okay with Gino. We don't talk to each other a lot. Although he did randomly send me an invite to watch his comedy show in New York when he knows I'm in LA. So I hate those like bulk invites. And it's also, don't invite a comic to your show. You think I want to go watch you and Kiki perform? No, thank you. I mean, I'm not surprised about the security because it's kind of a mellow area of Arizona, and it's not like, I mean, if you had to pick 5 people who would be kidnapped, I don't think anyone would pick Nancy Guthrie. Or yes, the Lois was on the Epstein files. She got lost one day. Well, when Garrett, but here's the thing. See, here's the difference between me and most people, not just in the Dabbleverse, but in the internet. I don't talk badly about people unless they have done something bad to me. I'm okay with Gino. I mean, we see each other maybe once every 2 to 3 years, so I have very few interactions with him. The interactions we've had have been, I don't know, just 2 comics who don't see each other a lot. I mean, the last time I saw Gino was during the pandemic when he did the Comedy Store podcast, which was during COVID. And how they did it is the crowd was on the patio, and we did the podcast from the front window of the original room. So we were separated from the audience. And it was a fine interview, I suppose. But then he dropped the N-bomb, and the podcast was over. So, that was my last interaction with him. What up, Colt, baby? Hit the like and subscribe button, pretty please. That's what's helping make the channel grow. Epstein files as well. We were talking a little bit about 3 million, supposedly the last batch of files released yesterday. Allegedly, Jerry Seinfeld and Chris Rock's name are on it. I mean, if I were to pick 2 comics who would be on the Epstein list, I think one comic I would name. But yes, the Leather Pants. Yeah, I don't know. I was told by a source, Stephen, deep into the King organization, that Connors was going to debut against Philadelphia. So I don't know what changed in that regard. Florentine is coming to the Ice House. I don't think the booker likes me. He's never booked me, ever, in any capacity. So that's a show I won't be going to. That guy's a weird guy who books the Ice House. Like, he came up to me last year. I was at the Netflix festival. I was there to watch a friend. He's like, hey, man, I'll book you on the festival for sure, but I can't headline you. And you saw some of the people he headlined that I have more credits than. I was like, okay, fuck this. Like, Netflix festival ain't breaking anyone. Sorry about that. So there you go. Earl Skakel live in the house. Just checking my email. I don't have a accountant or a producer, so I've got to do multiple things at multiple times. So the Guthrie case is definitely getting more interesting. That's for sure. And we will update it as we feel appropriate. Allegedly, Jeff liked comedy and would have comics at the Penthouse for dinner. Woody Allen, Jackie Martley, Nick DiPaolo mentioned as attending. I mean, yeah, I could see stuff like that. I mean, everyone loves comedy. Good for Connors. I mean, I guess, what up, ACDC? Gino is a comic, maybe. Yeah, listen, you guys can talk about anything you want. I mean, I've never done a show with Gino, so I can't really comment on his comedy. I mean, I've seen clips of it. I mean, I don't know. I just think talking about COVID in 2026 is a little, I don't know. It's not something I would do, but I also don't tell other comics um, what they should talk about. So if he wants to talk about COVID, then hey, fuck it, talk about COVID. I don't care. I mean, shit, I do jokes about 80s metal. I'm sure most successful comics would be like, bro, you can't talk about that stuff. No one's going to know who the bands are. But, that's my wheelhouse, and that's what I'll talk about. I mean, I'm just saying, I saw Chris Rock's name mentioned. I don't, like I said, I don't know the logistics of that situation. So, do you think Rob Schneider is unfairly canceled? I mean, I don't think he's canceled, to be honest with you. He turns down big movies. So, he's sells out everywhere he goes. I mean, when I was in Vegas 2 weeks ago, he had 2 sold out shows at the MGM. And last weekend, he had 3 sold out shows in a row in Bakersfield, Fresno, and Santa Barbara theaters. So he is not canceled. So what are you do-it-yourself renovating right now when you sell Earl? I mean, my place doesn't really need a lot of renovating. I mean, the carpets are dirty because of the dog, but I don't even think you would need new carpets. You just have to clean them. It's kind of senseless to clean them right now because Lois is just going to get them dirty the next day, as well as the hardwood floors. I mean, if I had to do anything, I mean, probably needs a new coat of paint, but that's on the new buyer. I'm not going to remodel the house for someone else. They can do that. Well, I don't know about Canada. I mean, I'm just speaking of the U.S. And trust me, there are many theater owners who would have Rob at their venues in Canada. Trust me on that one. People don't, I mean, Chris D'Elia sells out theaters still because people know that he will sell out the room. So people don't care. If you can make someone money, you will get booked. Virtually, short of murder, you will find work. No, I'm not. I'm looking. I mean, I almost bought a place 2 years ago. We went into escrow. It was an awesome place in the valley. I'm just sick of West Hollywood. I just don't like the neighborhood anymore. So we're in escrow, and then I think the guy was getting divorced, so he tried to do a short sale behind his future ex-wife's back. So that didn't end up happening. I mean, I have a great condo. It's like, I don't know, 1,600 square feet, which is big. 2.5 baths. The second bedroom is basically where all my game-worn jerseys and memorabilia are, so that's virtually been untouched. And let me see. Subterranean parking, 2 spaces. I mean, it's a great place. It's just the neighborhood stinks, man. But what's canceled? I mean, I know Rob had that situation where he was taken off stage or something, but that's hardly canceled to me. I mean, Rob could call up any comedy club in Canada, and he would if Rob called, say, Yuck Yucks in Toronto or Ottawa and said, I want to do the weekend this weekend, they would cancel whoever the headliner is, and Rob would be playing this weekend. I've lived here since right after 9/11. I mean, literally a few months after 9/11, I moved in. So it's time for me to move anyway, and I would love to I mean, my condo's been appraised at 1.1. You know, I don't know if I could get that now necessarily, but you know, it's I could probably get 1 million at the lowest, but you know, you can't get a home for $1 million around my neighborhood. I mean, and if you could, it would be a fixer-upper. It's not going to be a 1,600 square foot home. So, you know, I mean, I think about a year ago, look at a place in Encino, of all places, brand new home for about 1 million. So basically would have been a swap. Turnkey, didn't need anything done to it. I mean, turnkey. Little small in terms of my storage needs, but I could have made it work because I could have used the garage as a memorabilia / closet space. Next door neighbor was a sheriff, 6 down CHP officer. So it's a safe neighborhood to that degree. But no pool, but I don't really care about that. Nice backyard, though. I mean, I definitely, in this particular home, if I would have bought it, I would have gotten 1 or 2 giant dogs just to cover that ground. And Lois would have loved it. Just big, I mean, not a big backyard, but a medium-sized backyard that was perfect. High fences. I mean, New York, I'm not going to start over doing comedy in a different city. I mean, I'm just too old in that regard. Yo, 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 yo. You know, not that I would be a complete unknown to the New York comedy scene, because I'm known and liked. I mean, I'm a regular at the Stand. I've only played there once. And probably with all my connections, or whatever you want to call them, I'd probably get past at the Cellar pretty easily. But you know, I'd be going on like right before or right after a tell, which is late. I don't know if I necessarily want to do that in a new city. So, you know, that's my quirky way of thinking it. You know, it's just, you know, if I was 27, I might do it. 57. No, what up, Flat Cat? Flat Cat Jessica in the house. I mean, I'm pretty dialed into the LA comedy scene, but, you know, I would like to start playing New York more. You know, I think it's a better comedy city than LA. And, you know, Leo Gunn in the house. Hey now, we got some real Dabbleverse All-Stars in the stream. Now, we have talked a little bit of Gino Bisconte already because of the great permaseal finishing dictating the pace. So it's good to see everyone in here. It's just a nice, friendly stream, no drama. I don't believe Leo Gunn is a mod. Wow, I forgot I made Leo Gunn a mod. I think I'm the only person who, you know, has 14 mods for 33 people. So, you know, I could really do a stream with just the mod stream, the mod squad. So, you know, peace and love, Waver, peace and love. But, you know, the channel is growing, and we probably had our best week ever last week. What's better for you, smaller venues or huge theaters like Chappelle does? Well, I would love to play huge theaters. I probably couldn't sell them out, but I mean, that's what every comic wants. You know, listen to packed comedy clubs. Not, you know, any packed room is good. You know, I mean, small. You know, like in the Comedy Store vein. You know, the original room's a smaller room. I think it seats about 250 people. The main room seats 400. I mean, I played both. Both rooms are great. The belly room seats about 100 and maybe 100. That's cool when it's sold out because the energy is so fucking compact. Permaseal finishing, $4.99. Nice of you to call Gino a comic. I call him a drunk lifelong renter. I mean, you know, Those are pretty hard facts to debate. I mean, as someone who's never had a drink in his life, I don't get the allure of him drinking so much, but that's between him and his wife. So, no more laser guns, no more laser gats until I'm out of YouTube's crosshairs. I had a close call with YouTube and their terms of service people. So from now on, when someone sends me a super chat, I just very nicely say thank you. I mean, it's probably too late to get on this year's festival, but I don't really mind not being on it that much. I mean, it's not going to help or hurt me. I'd rather go up at the Comedy Store Saturday nights. I mean, I know the booker of the festival. I know the head of Netflix Comedy, and if they don't want me on the fucking show, I'm not going to beg to be on a show that's not really going to help me that much, to be honest with you. So, I mean, it's more of a vanity thing for people to say, "Oh, I was on the Netflix festival." Well, what did you get out of it? Oh, nothing. So, yeah, I mean, the booker loves me, so that could be a situation that she might be like, "Well, we need someone to close it out. How about Earl?" But it's also one of those things where, listen, she knows who I am. Yeah, Steph Tolov. I think Steph Tolov's also at the Troubadour as well. So, yeah, I should get that. The Ray DeVito Earl. I don't know what that means. Waiver. The fuck you all know about anything? You might hot the gym if might help you with clear thinking. Can I get that in fucking English, bro? Jesus Christ. Who taught you how to write a sentence? Shaquille O'Neal? Yeah, I don't know what happened to this day, Kip. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they don't really tell you. I mean, they sent me a timestamp of the video. I watched the video like 5 times. There was nothing in that video that I did wrong. And I'm pretty on. You guys know me. I'm an honest fucking dude. I sat there and okay, is there a weapon in here that shouldn't be on a screen? No. So they might have mistaken something for a weapon, I guess, which is why I'm assuming I only got a 24-hour timeout. I mean, I've never heard of that before. Like I said, I've heard of 7 days, 14 days, and permanent bans. I've never heard of a 24-hour timeout. A Permaseal finishing $4.99. You own $1 million home. Gino owns Keanu. I'd say you are a comic. He is a fraud. Well, I'm more of a performer, Permaseal. But I mean, I guess I did get trolled, but it's kind of unfortunate because I let the trolls, kind of speak their mind or whatever. So, I mean, maybe, but, it's pretty clear I was not live. I mean, I was live. Maybe I should have said live reporting, but even that might assume I'm there. And it was maybe because I said I was a Green Beret in Jim Hopper's unit. I mean, come on, man. You got to know that's a joke. I don't think too many people thought, oh, this guy served. So, and I really tried to keep the emotions free and clear from any weird hate speech or whatever. So what I mean, but I mean, you know what I'm saying, Cold C. I mean, if I said right now to this stream, and everyone put your answer in the chat. If I said I was a Green Beret out of Fort Bragg in Jim Hopper's unit, what do you think of? You think I'm really serious? The fuck? And then I think I doubled down and said some of my units' names were Delmore, Krakauer, and Barry. That's Rambo's unit and Baker team. It's like, come on, man. But, that's the danger of the internet. The trolls really have the power. So, I mean, I have a body of a Green Beret, but, Jim Harper, what the fuck? Um, but you'd have to be pretty stupid to think I was really saying I served in the military. Um, so, you know, yes, I was in Jesse Ventura's unit. He was also a Green Beret out of Fort Bragg. But Rogan's in the Epstein files, not even joking. I mean, I haven't heard that. Sheriff Will Teasel. Well, I knew Michael Talbot, one of the deputies. Of course, he was also Sheriff or Stan Switek from Miami Vice. Yeah, I was and I also said I was in the KISS Army, but I was such a pussy. I actually served in the KISS National Guard. I mean, I don't think too many trolls would take that seriously, but someone did. Um, I mean, I do remember when I met my ex-fiance's brother who serves in the military currently. I told him I was a Green Beret in Jim Hopper's unit. He got all excited. And then his sister said, he was just kidding, right? And then he was not happy with me. So it could have been a troll that served, and, I'm sorry about that, but, you know, it's just weird. I mean, they literally sent me and they didn't even tell me I was back. I was allowed to stream again. I just went on randomly and thought, oh, I can go live again. So, Earl, what's more impressive, you or Lindsey Vonn for continuing with those injuries? Well, let me tell you, I mean, obviously she's an Olympic athlete. I'm not. I literally had no ACL from 91 to 2004, and I still won probably about 30 scoring titles in my hockey league. Squatted in the mid 90s, over 600 pounds. Not easily, but I did it on one ACL. So, I was definitely a major in the Poon platoon. Um, so, whatever that may be. Um, I've not seen Leslie Jones. I believe that I don't know. I don't. I mind my own fucking business up at the Comedy Store. I don't care who's fucking who or whatever. I believe that her and the Booker don't get along. So yes, Baby Platts on. Well, I was called Baby Platts before the ACL injury. I mean, in the late '80s, my legs were fucking giant. So, yeah, I mean, I was cool with Leslie, until I wasn't. So, that's, I mean, it'll be interesting if Trump does sue Trevor Noah for the joke. I mean, because then, comics, I mean, technically you could sue them for anything they say. I mean, I could get sued, for saying something stupid, which would be being sued a lot. So it's just very, I don't think, I think it's covered under satire and First Amendment speech. No, I mean, I'm not big enough to sue. But I also don't joke about anything too seriously. So, you know, um, I don't think I have to personally be worried about getting sued or canceled. I mean, I'm simply not big enough to be sued or canceled. So, there's that. I mean, what are you going to cancel? My 12:30 in the morning spot at the Comedy Store? Well, I mean, I said it so over the top. There's no way anyone could think I was a Green Beret out of Fort Bragg in Jim Hopper's unit. Uh, Not really. I mean, he can still probably sell out a theater here and there. Um, uh, I mean, I think Leslie is, she just hasn't handled fame well. And I think she feels. I am considered a a comics comic is what they call me, and that is like the worst thing you could be labeled because it means only comics like you. But like when I'm on stage at the Comedy Store, a bunch of comics go in and sit in the back. Hey, let's go watch Earl because I'm fun to watch. So, which is cool, but I'd rather have the head of Netflix say, hey, let me go to the Comedy Store and watch Earl. Um, I would not do anything with William Montgomery. I don't, and it's not personal. I just don't think he's funny. I'm not gonna because he's not a team player. Like he would always try and make me to the butt of the joke, and it's like that ain't happening. So him and David Lucas should do bumping mics. They could just bomb together. Well, a comic writes jokes. A comedian is someone who's more. Comic is David Tell. A comedian is, Theo Vaughn. You know, I've been in the Benchwarmers, so yes, I've seen it. So I'm more of a performer. I mean, I write jokes, but like I'm more. I could tell you a joke right now. You might laugh, you might not. You might think, oh, that's okay. I've heard better, I've heard worse. But I can tell that same joke and you're in the room live with an audience around you, like, fuck, that's a great joke. I'll go with Lee Majors there. Definitely. Hey, let's get to 50 people in here, man. Let's get to 50 people and 50 likes and help Daddy Man out. I mean, you couldn't do the $6 million man now. You'd have to do the $6 million they, them. And who knows what it would look like down there. It might have a pussy with a handle on it. So, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, guys. Earl Skakel in the house live Tuesday night. The $6 million he, she man. Well, I mean, listen, Garrett, I don't beg for likes. I ask for them. I don't beg for them. And it'd just be Elon trying to get on Epstein's island. Tell me about it. Earl Skakel, the late, great Brody Stevens, and Brian Holtzman are comics. The comics sit in the front. But yeah, and me and Don Barris, D. Waver, Bonzo Barry. Let me play the ray gun sound. So, Lois is doing well. Thank you very much. She's sleeping right now as we speak. I mean, they're cool. I mean, I remember when we all went to go see Danny Dangerous, who is the sound guy at the Comedy Store. He was in a big band called the Zeros in the 80s. Like, they were so big, their color was purple that the Whiskey A Go-Go painted their whole building purple. So when Danny played, I don't know, a couple months ago, I always sell the T-shirts for the band there. It's packed. Rose and Emily were right next to each other. I mean, they're friends. The problem, whatever that was not between them. It was, between Emily and the store, I suppose. So that's not Rose's fault, and Emily knows that. Yeah, the whiskey is pretty dope. No, I believe, according to Tom Cassidy, that Brody Stevens killed himself because he knew Chad. See, I know the real. Yeah, Danny Davis, the referee. Yeah, I mean, listen, if I died tomorrow, people would be sad for about 2 days, and then someone else would get the midnight spot. I mean, life goes on in comedy. I mean, Brody's probably one of the few that people still talk about, with regularity. But, I mean, I'm trying to think of some of the comics who have unalived themselves within the last couple of years. I mean, Jack Knight, nobody talks about him anymore. Neil Nanda, nobody talks about him anymore. Those are probably the two most popular LA comics of the last couple of years who, I mean, people rarely talk about Ralphie because Ralphie wasn't really an LA comic. Well, I mean, you know what I mean, though. You guys might be sad for a week or two, and then, You see another clip of, say, Sam Tripoli in my spot. Tripoli's pretty funny. You're not forgotten, but like, I mean, comedy is literally the definition of next man up. What up, Geneva? I mean, I remember one night I was doing an open mic in Burbank, the Whiskey Bend. And this is LA comedy in a nutshell. So there's a big bar brawl by the pool table. The stage is at the opposite. Whoa, 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 whoa. The stage is at the opposite end of where the pool tables are. So some guy throws a pool ball at this guy, hits him in the fucking head. This guy pulls out a gun, and shots were fired. And the guy who was next on stage has people are scrambling everywhere. Me and Ian Bagg took off running to the left of the club. We all get back there, and the guy who was supposed to go on next literally was like, "Hey, I'm still good. I still get to go up, right?" So, I mean, Ralphie was 594 pounds when he died. So that cremator took the rest of the month off. You know what I'm saying? Hey-oh. I've already done, I mean, that's kind of a standard roast line. I mean, if you look at my Shane Doan roast, I think the second joke I did was this dais is the who's who of who isn't. So very similar premise, but that's parallel thinking. I don't think you're stealing that from me. I mean, I certainly didn't steal that from someone, but a lot, probably about 40 to 50% of my Shane Doan roast was just made up on the spot. So, as was my roast of Popeye from Blood In, Blood Out. I would say I made up 95%. I did not write a single joke for that roast. So, yeah, I mean, that was definitely, no, I think Chad's line was this dais is a who's who of who gives a fuck. So that's similar to my Shane Doan line, but it's, I don't think Chad stole it from me. So, is it Ron Glass that screamed at a gay guy disrespecting a waitress? Ginsley, I don't know what you're talking about. Is Redman a Native American? What's with the name? Red Ban or Red Man? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Ralphie was a big boy. There's no doubt about that. I don't know about that, Dave. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the inner workings of Jeff Dye and him complaining to the comedy store. What if Scarlett beats Chad at the roast? Should he retire? I mean, I would advise Chad not to do that roast. This is the first time hearing of it, but because it's a no-win situation for Chad. If he kills her, everyone's going to be like, well, he should kill her. He's the comic. If he kind of kills her and she gets in a few zingers, well, maybe Chad's not as funny as we all thought he was, blah, blah, blah. And then if he loses to her, it's like, well, he sucks. So there's really no upside for Chad in this roast. I would advise Chad to not do the roast because there's no upside. To her, there's all the upside in the world. Well, I'm not a comic, so any good lines I get in are just bonus points. Most people think I'm just a whore. I'm not saying she's a whore. I'm just saying, like, in the Dabbleverse, people just think, she just fucks black guys. Oh, that was a pretty funny joke. So I would not do it if I were Chad. Well, I mean, the heckler would get punched in the face. I'm very I'm very territorial with the stage. If I see someone in the front row with their feet on the stage, I'm like, get your fucking feet off the stage, man. This ain't your home. So if someone were to go on stage, my first move would be I would put the mic in the stand and I would pick up the mic and have the bottom of the mic stand, which is very heavy. It's like probably a 20 to 30 pound base. and go, take a step further, and you're going to get this. Um, yeah, I mean, you'd really, yo, AC/DC. You'd really have to, she does like that Tommy Jordan thing where they just talk over people, and it's that a good roast is a good back and forth between people. You know, so it's like, okay, Earl, you're so old that blah blah blah, and then I could say, well, you're so fat, Jesus can't lift your spirits, and then they say something that's you want to get into a groove, and Scarlett would not be good on a roast because, like you said, you have to be quiet and listen too. And she'd probably be on Adderall or whatever she's on. Chad would be drunk. I mean, Kevin would lose control, but Kevin at the same time would also love it. Um, oh no, I don't tell them at the beginning. That's for them to find out. And I know it sounds like I'm talking like a tough guy, but that stage is mine. It's like very similar to when someone jumps out from the stands and runs on a football field. They're going to get tackled hard by a 300-pound security guard who probably played football at some point. So they'll find that out on their own. Like I remember one time, there was a huge brawl broke out at the Comedy Store. It was packed, sold out room, a very rowdy crowd. I knew when I walked into the room, because you have to walk into the main room to go backstage. It's like a maze, and I could just feel the energy of the crowd. They were rowdy, and as soon as I walked into the main room, there was a table. If you've ever been in the main room, back right, closest to the wall, there was a table that was incredibly rowdy, really drunk, and I'm like, they're gonna be a problem. So I get back there. I think it was Liz Traeger was on before me. And I'm doing my thing. The crowd was pretty hot, but that table in the back was definitely causing a problem. Scarlett would be horrible at improv. You got a yes and in improv. You have to listen, go off what the person's telling you, say your line, listen. She doesn't listen. Um, so about 5 minutes into the act, this guy yells out, I can't say exactly what he says, so I'm going to replace the word with something that sounds just like the word. Take off your leather pants, you maggot. And I instantly, within 1 second, was like, you're calling me a maggot, and you're with 5 guys and 2 girls who look like dudes? And that just unnerved that guy. They were like Raider fans from Palmdale. Um, and they tried to storm the stage. Of course, they didn't know that most of the security guards, if not all of the security guards, have some form of martial arts training, Krav Maga. And so they get escorted out. And as I'm on stage, there's a huge brawl on the sidewalk. And, if that particular person would have gotten on stage, it's self-defense for me. I'm going to pick up that mic stand and impale it in their ribs. And if they survive that shot, I'm going to swing as hard as I can at their face. Now, I don't want to do that, but, that's my safe space, man. Frankfurt. When you think of all the misfits in the Dabbleverse, would you agree Chad seems like the most dangerous, scary, from breaking into women's homes to spamming an internet to KHS? I don't know what that means. That's nothing to sneeze at. I mean, listen, how he conducts himself would not be how I do it. I would not go to someone's home in an open carry state. I didn't like the body shaming with Lady KB. But listen, there's a reason he gets 100 super chats an episode and I get 3. But I don't need the money that bad. So that's why I can do, we're at 50 minutes in here. I can do a stream and just be chill and everyone gets along. But, Kevin Brennan said, there's no money in getting along. But for me, there is. So, in terms of Chad, I mean, dangerous, I mean, I'm trying to think who else is in that world. I mean, I don't think there's really anyone dangerous in the Dabbleverse. I mean, of course, it depends on what your definition of dangerous is, I suppose. But Um, I mean, there's a lot of scummy people in that land, which is why I'm not um, disappointed I'm not really considered a Dabbleverse person. Um, so, sup. Listen. I mean, he's doing his thing. I mean, you know, I just don't know what the end game for him is, but that's not. Who cares? Well, I don't know what the end game for me is, to be honest with you. So, um, it's just I don't understand. Going after like Patton Oswalt and Bert. It's not going to end well there. I mean, I know for a fact that Leslie called, when the comic she got into a fight with at the Comedy Store, Josh Martin moved to New York. I know for a fact that she called clubs and said, don't book this guy. And she doesn't even really perform there anymore. So, it's just, at some point you got to be liked. I'm not saying you have to kiss people's ass, but like, yeah, rest in peace, Chuck Negron. I mean, not really. I was a metal guy. So, but in that world, Chad is the straw that stirs the Dabbleverse drink, to be frank. So, once again, it's not how I would operate, but that's also why I get 3 super chats an episode. So, but I also, uh, you guys have heard this spiel before. I make my money in voiceovers. I mean, so I don't really. That's why I can joke about having so few Patreon subscribers and whatnot. I don't rely on grifting you people. Now, yes, I do ask you guys to hit the like and subscribe button, but that's free. It literally costs you no money to help me. KHJ, damn that. I'm trying to think of some of my favorite songs in the mid '70s. Black Superman, I loved. How'd that go? Muhammad, Muhammad Ali. He floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee. Muhammad, the Black Superman. Catch me if you can. Do 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 do. Man, I haven't heard that song in a minute. Other favorite songs in the mid '70s. I mean, obviously Boston's More Than a Feeling. A lot of Kiss songs. KHJ, damn, that is some of the stations I used to listen to: KHJ, KLOS, KMET, K Earth 101. See you, Kip. We're gonna go about another 7 minutes, kids. So, AM radio was the best. Paraquat Kelly, Machine Gun Kelly, Permaseal Finishing. For now, I think you've changed your venom from Chad to Gino. $4.99. So what is Gino called? Failed drunk comic, also Chad, accomplished thief and failed comic. I mean, those are pretty accurate. I mean, I see Gino has some show on a Sunday night at a bar. So, I mean, what's a comic? I mean, to some people, I'm not a comic because I only pretty much play one club, but, I'm pretty, pretty happy that the one club I do play is the #1 club in the country. I mean, everyone wants to play the Comedy Store. Everyone. I don't know necessarily if everyone wants to play the Mothership. The Cellar and the Stand are definitely huge in New York, but there's a reason when Jimmy Carr comes to America, he does the Comedy Store first. Earl, whose teeth fell out on Dynamite Wrestling? I don't know. Gary, I think you're fibbing there. I thought you were going to ask me about. Wouldn't that be funny if the kidnappers were watching my stream and they're like, "Who the fuck is Gino Bisconte?" Hey, before we go, we got about 5 more minutes. Let's get to 50 people and 50 likes. That's free for you people to help the daddy man out. And then this will be the last stream of the day. I mean, I don't know. That's a very strange situation. I mean, you would think of all the celebrities in the world that you could kidnap, that Savannah Guthrie's mom would be pretty low on the kidnapping list. No, my ACL is fully rebuilt. I am working out as soon as I end this stream, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think. 70s. Blondie, obviously, was big. I guess the Cars' first album was 79, so I would say the Cars. I mean, Kiss was so big to me. Like, they were like the Beatles. You know, I mean, you can't really pick a band other than Kiss where you knew every band member's name. Even if you didn't listen to Kiss, you knew Gene, Paul, Ace, and Peter. Kung Fu Fight, Pac-Man Fever. I got a pocket full of quarters and I'm going to the arcade. And those are the only words I remember. It's been a minute since I've heard Pac-Man Fever. I don't believe I watched the movie FM. I thought we were going to talk a little Kings hockey to close out the stream. Car Wash was a good song. Convoy. Great song, great movie. I love when I was a kid, and it's probably to this day, I still want to be as cool looking as Chris Christopherson, aka the Rubber Duck. Breaker 19, Breaker 19. We got a bear in the air and a plain brown wrapper. Come on. I was a big Convoy guy. I mean, that movie could come on right now and I would watch it. Ernest Borgnine is the evil Sheriff Lyle Wallace. Comedy Store paid regular. Franklin Ajayi as Spider Mike. Burt Young, I think that was 2 years after Rocky and 1 year before Rocky 2. So prime Burt Young. Fire Jim Hiller. You know, I'm not necessarily a Hiller hater. I mean, I just think that, you know, in terms of, I mean, this will definitely make numbers drop off talking Kings hockey, but in terms of the Kings, you know, I don't think it's Hiller's fault that Byfield's not scoring, Moore's not scoring, Fogel's not scoring. I mean, Kuzmenko's turning it around. You know, LaFerriere is kind of up and down. You know, Doughty is atrocious right now. He's definitely not an $11 million a year defenseman. You know, is he Scotty Bowman? No, but I honestly don't think Peter McCarthy, who's the fucking guy used to coach the Rangers and the Bruins. What is his name? I'm having a total brain fart right now. I don't think Peter DeBoer would. Who's the guy who coached the Rangers and the Bruins? No, not DeBoer. The other guy, Pete McAllister. I can't believe this. You know, I'm autistic with hockey. Who's the coach of the Rangers and the Bruins at one point? So we'll go to a Chad Zumach question before someone can help me. Chad goes after people out of jealousy. It's normal to feel jealous, but he acts on it. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah, Laviolette. Oh, Jesus, I don't know why I thought it was McCarthy. I don't think he would do much better. I mean, Tortorella might do good for like this season only, but I can't imagine Tortorella speaking like he speaks to a mostly veteran team. So who starts? Definitely Rogers. I mean, Convoy is a great movie if you haven't seen it. It's a movie about a group of outlaw truckers. You know, Ernest Borgnine plays the dirty sheriff. I'm trying to think. Ali McGraw's in it. A prime Ali McGraw, maybe one of the most beautiful women ever. I'm talking when you take everyone in their prime. Wow, she was hot. It's a really good movie. I don't know where you would find it, but it's on TV a fair amount. So we'll go 5 more minutes, guys, and then that's it. I mean, basically, CB radio was so good that they made a movie about it. And that was Sam Peckinpah's last movie that he directed, but apparently he was so fucking high on cocaine that James Coburn basically directed it. And a lot of the scenes were improv because, I mean, Peckinpah didn't really know what he wanted. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you could find Convoy on like Tubi or something. Um, so that would be. I mean, I'm sure it's on. It's a pretty popular movie. Yeah, we don't do all caps in here, bro. I mean, come on. Permaseal Finishing commenting, did Ralphie May use more soap? Probably not. Um, Permaseal wants me to end the stream because Lady KB is on um, MLC. I'm not sure what she's on, Permaseal. So no need to super chat me. Is she on MLC? I don't. What is she on, baby? Well, I mean, they were saying in the Convoy, the movie, that Franklin Ajay, when he broke off because in the storyline his girl was pregnant, so he leaves the Convoy, and I think they were in Texas or something, and Chris Christopherson he's going through some rough territory for a black trucker. Oh, Pluto. Okay. Oh, is it on Amazon Prime? Okay, cool. By the way, what is also on Amazon Prime is The Jellies by Tyler, the Creator, Season 1, where if you get upset when I leave this stream right now, you can still hear the golden pipes, baby doll. On Season 1, I don't believe Seasons 2 or 3 is... the Chicken Man doesn't come in here much anymore. I'm disappointed. Yeah, beat the Kraken, So I'm not a Jim Hiller hater. Do I think he's Scotty Bowman? No, but, I just think that the Kings have had so many players have an off year, like Kopitar's been hurt. I think Kempe has been up and down. Fiala's been up and down. Byfield's been down. Fogel's been down. I'll include Deneau just for his time in LA before he got traded. Deneau was down. I mean, 0 goals. And the fourth line up until the last few weeks has been, just a mishmash. But right now it's good. So I don't think he's a lame duck. I mean, listen, let's see what happens. If they do well in the playoffs, he's going to be around next year. I mean, I don't think King fans realize that Holland was brought in to win a cup. Now, maybe that was a misguided conception. You bring an older GM in, he's probably going to want older players, which the Kings, I think they have the second oldest roster. You can promote another stream. What stream were you promoting? Well, I think it depends on how they do. If they get into the playoffs, I mean, shit, they're like 4 points out of first. So I don't think they're having as bad of a year as people think they are. And, we'll see what happens at the trade deadline or, before the Olympic break. I mean, I personally don't want Panarin because I think you're just going to give up way too much for him. I mean, I'm going to assume, based on what the Islanders got for Brock Nelson from Colorado, that now I'm not making up a rumor here. I'm just going to assume that the Rangers are going to want Laferriere because they want an NHL roster player. They're going to want Green Tree, probably another high pick from the Kings farm system, which there are not many, and a first-round pick. That's just not. It's just too much. Now, would they be a better team with Panarin? Absolutely. I mean, Steven, can you imagine a power play? You put the Russians together, Kuzmenko and Panarin, Fiala, Kempe, and Clark. I mean, that's a lot of fucking skill. The Life of an LA Comic. Did you ever see Aloha, Bobby, and Rose? I don't know what that is, TB. Well, Ryan, I'd rather have Trocheck because it's not going to cost you as much. He's got a very reasonable contract. It sets you up for next year to have Byfield and Trocheck as your centers. with maybe LaFerriere as the third center and then Hellenius as your fourth center. That's not too bad. But, if you go for Panarin, then you've got Byfield at center, LaFerriere as your second line center, which I don't know if he's a second line center. You know, but I mean, I have a feeling the Kings might make a play for Kane, which, am I against? Not really. They're a better team with Kane on the team because, you're not going to give up anyone. You're going to give up maybe a fourth, fifth round pick for him. I mean, I would like O'Reilly, but does he want to come here? I think he has a limited no trade clause. So does he want to come here? I don't know if he does. So how do I think John Ram will do in regards to what? So, oh, sweet. Thank you very much. I mean, well, there's technically 3 seasons of the Jellies. The first season was on Tyler's phone app. Seasons 2 and 3 were on Adult Swim. So it's probably actually seasons 2 and 3. So, I mean, I don't think the Kings are, they're in that weird, mix of being good enough to upset a team, but not good enough to win the whole thing. So their draft picks are not going to be great. I mean, who else is out there that, will end the stream on maybe some hockey free agents? I mean, let's go to see. Let's see who's out there right now. I mean, they don't really need Bennington. Panarin's, the prize, but you also have Washington and Carolina going for them. I mean, Tuck is off the table, Alec Tuck. I mean, Ferraro, the big defenseman in San Jose, is probably on the table. But Tuck is not going to be traded. I mean, I think Buffalo's going to ride it out with him. Couturier's a center. I mean, he's an option for sure. Robert Thomas, I don't know. I can't see the Blues trading him to the Kings. Kane's out there. I mean, Whitehead, White Cloud, but I don't think the Kings need him. I mean, Justin Falk, I'd take a flyer on. Morgan Riley, I think you could get for cheap. But the Kings' problem isn't really defense. It's more center-based. I mean, O'Reilly's definitely someone that floats my boner. Stamkos, I don't know if he wants to come out here. Gudas is someone that, I don't know, the Kings don't really need him. I mean, Kadri's a center. Trocheck's a center. Alexis Laferriere, the number 1 pick ahead of Byfield. Would I mind having him on the team? Maybe. Claude Giroux, I think he's pretty happy in Ottawa. And then Connor Garland, I know the Kings have been after him for a while. So, maybe you package him and Kane to L.A. Patrick Laine would definitely help the power play, but other than that, he doesn't add a lot. He's not very good defensively, but he would definitely make the power play, pretty dope. I don't think Buffalo's trading anyone. Would I like Bowen Byram? Yeah, but I don't know if Buffalo's going to trade anyone. So I could see the Kings kind of doing a dumpster dive. You get Laine. I mean, that's a pretty good power play if you can throw out, I don't know who the center would be, but you'd have Kempe, Laine, Kuzmenko, Fiala, and Clark. That's a pretty good power play. Pettersson in Vancouver, he's obviously a center, but you're going to have to give up a lot to get him. I mean, I don't think Coleman and Mangiapane, really are, players the Kings necessarily need. So I would guess that the Kings would go for a Kane, Laine type, something that's not going to break the bank, but you're showing to your fan base, hey, we're trying. The Kings are pretty set in goal. I like their defense. I mean, Doughty's definitely playing worse than CeCe, but CeCe gets most of the hate for whatever reason, which is something that I don't really understand. But hey, let's get to 50 likes, guys. 50 likes, man, and then we'll end the stream. So that would help me out a lot. It always looks better to get a nice round number. You notice I'm not asking for fucking money like most people on these streams. Yeah, that's a great song. You know who does a great cover of We're an American Band is Poison. This is a tribute shirt to Val James, the first U.S.-born black player to play in the National Hockey League. Not Willie O'Ree, but Val was the first U.S.-born black player to play in the league. And you can imagine what he went through. Here's a tough guy in the early 80s beating up on white players. So if you like hockey interviews, it's one of the ones I'm proudest of. Check out Inappropriate Earl, Val James. Val was fucking awesome. So what's your opinion of the two-line pass? I mean, it definitely opens up the game. I mean, you kind of can only imagine if Gretzky and Yari Curry had the two-line pass available to them. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I miss Velarde, but, I'm still okay with the original Dubois trade. I mean, the bottom line is the original Dubois trade was made to make life harder on McDavid. I think Rob Blake's thinking was, we're going to make McDavid go through Kopitar, Byfield, Deneau, Dubois. But now Dubois probably would have been the second line center, so it would have been Kopitar, Dubois, Deneau, Byfield, or some combination of that, and maybe even throw in a little bit of the agitator Lazat. I just don't think the Kings were ever going to beat Edmonton with Velarde, Iafallo, Kapari, and whatever the second round pick ended up being. So I personally didn't mind the Dubois trade. It just didn't work out. Dubois is an enigma. On paper, he hits every check mark you want in a player. 6'4", 225, fast skater, hard shot, good passer, plays with an edge, but just something gets lost in translation with that guy when he gets onto the ice in a game situation. It looks like he's just skating in warm-ups. Like, it's very little effort, very little energy. Thank you for the likes. We'll go to 75 minutes, guys, so another 2 minutes. I mean, I remember once I asked an NHL scout about Dubois, and I told him all that. I gave him that rundown. And he's like, Earl, you should be a hockey scout. And I said, well, what's Dubois' problem? I mean, you've probably watched him since juniors. He's like, he's such a good player, but unfortunately for him, he's never learned to play the game. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? He's like, well, from the age of probably 8 to now, he's been the best, if not the second best player on his team. So he's never really learned to use his teammates. And it kind of made sense. I mean, I remember watching him in the 2017 World Juniors a couple months ago, and he played just like he does now. Just, he'll give you an initial effort, but if his skill level does not get him the puck the first time, he kind of gives up. I mean, he's a great fucking player, man, but it just, there's just something that's just not clicking for him. I mean, I liked Kovalchuk. I mean, and that's even Kovalchuk was great in Jersey and Atlanta, especially Atlanta. He was awesome. But, Kovalchuk on the Kings, I like that move. I mean, the Kings had just lost 4 1-goal games to Vegas in the playoffs. They needed scoring without trading anyone. I believe there was a trade on the table, if I'm not mistaken. It was we would get Pacioretty and we would give up Velarde and Pearson. So you're not really gaining because Pacioretty is going to score about what Velarde and Pearson are going to score. Kovalchuk's first season with the Kings, I think he was 4th on the team in goals, but 16th in playing time. So he still had the shot. He was just a little slower. And, in this era of the league, slow, not that he was slow, but, a slower Kovalchuk was just hard to catch up with the play. I'd be the new Pat McAfee. So. I mean, I think the original season, thank you for that info. I don't know. I mean, we did it, like I said, Tyler was, I think, trying to do like a Netflix thing, and it was a pretty good deal. It was like $5 for every, it was like all his content, music, and the Loiter Squad, and all the shows he's done. And then Adult Swim picked us up for seasons 2 and 3, which was awesome. yeah, with Cobley, I loved it. I wanted the Kings to re-sign him. I mean, but with Kovalchuk in LA, I mean, 3 coaches had a problem with his playing style. So at some point, it's on him. Just like everyone blames coaches for Kaliev and his mishandling of his development. But at some point, it's on the fucking player too. So, all right, you guys, this has been a fun stream. I love talking hockey. So sorry for some of you who are in the weeds. But yeah, I mean, Kovalchuk, I think sometimes they put Kovalchuk on the point on the power play. I would have put him in the Ovechkin spot or the bumper spot. I mean, he still had the shot. But, like I said, Desjardins, Stevens, and McClellan didn't seem to vibe with how he played. So, I think you might see a similar situation with Line. I don't think Line is a Jim Hiller type of guy. But man, that power play would be pretty dope. I mean, wow, and Line would probably be pretty cheap. I know he's going through some mental situations right now, so I think he likes playing in Montreal, but maybe he wants to get out of the hockey bubble. I mean, Line could walk around Sunset Boulevard naked and no one would know who he is. So he might benefit from a less pressure city than Montreal, where in Montreal, he probably can't go to the bathroom at a gas station without being hounded. So, all right, you guys, I love you all. Earl Skakel, over and out.